Hey, and good morning. We're up. We're good. Hey, Mr. Dan, Dan the man, and Daniel Rodriguez. Good morning, guys. Nice to see you in the house. How's you guys doing today? As usual, let me know if you can hear me loud and clear and all that good stuff. And yeah, I got a good stream set up for today. We're going to be going over the cross-laminated timber stuff. I think it's going to be a really popular material. And in the stream today, we're going to be going over like I got some fire testing videos. I got a blast testing video, so we're going to see the stuff lit up, and we're going to see it blown up. And then yeah, we're also going to explore how it's manufactured, and then the marketability of it, and the feasibility of it. Right. I think now that we're I think big companies are starting to see the effects of like replanting and reforestry. So it's a it could be a renewable source. My thing is that I think it takes longer to grow than it does to cut down, right? So there's some trees that are in BC that are like so old, right? And they're massive. And I don't know if it, like it takes thousand years to get that big, right, or more. So it's right. Like I don't think that it's as renewable as they say it is, anyways. But it's okay. I was gonna jump over to my other screen. How are you, man? How's everybody doing? How's Lori, Dan? Everything good? Hope so, bro. I'm gonna switch over. Um, there. Yeah. So yeah. And as usual, make sure you guys are aware. You got visit our friends over at your Real Estate Whisperer and VCG Construction, Paul Peck Drywall, Tube, and to the top of the crane, Mr. Conkles, Fernby, Wheelrow, Tokyo Drew, Whiskey Throttle, and Patty Broussard. And I gotta add, like, I think Autobahn Dan and everybody. So, yeah, good stuff, Dan. Yeah, man. It's been, look, see, my daughter watches these channels. James Charles, I don't think that has anything to do with anything I've ever watched. But yeah, that's too funny. Oh, these are just popular channels, I guess, in the whole of YouTube, right? I know my daughter watches Cookie Swirl C. Not these guys. Maybe Toys and Colors, but yeah, she definitely watches Cookie Swirl C. So, yeah, guys, so cross laminated timber. It's panels, right? Either glued, there's adhesive bonded cross laminated timber, and then there's mechanically fastened cross laminated timber, right? So mechanically, would be like bolts and stuff like that, right? Yeah, vision, eh? Man, I'm sorry to hear that, Dan. Hey, good morning, Christian. How are you? Launchpad Astronomy. Oh, that's actually a good note. That's another channel I need to add to my homepage and to my Discord. LPA. Yeah, right. Yes. How are you today, my man? I'm gonna add you to my YouTube homepage and to my Discord bot, right? So when you post, it'll put your videos in. I gotta do that before I forget. So yeah, yeah. I just also became a patron of Launchpad Astronomy. So yeah, he's growing and it's fantastic. It's awesome to see that. And yeah, man, I like to see that. Where are you now, Christian, with subscribers? How's it been going? Good morning, Miss Cricket. Cricket Wilson, how are you? Cricket Wilson Harris. I was trying to remember if the first time I seen you, if it was Wilson Harris, or was it just one? I can't remember. And then you changed it, the hyphenated name. Were you recently married? Maybe a special blade. Yeah. You know what? I would assume that the like normal blades could do it, but you're probably gonna want to buy like the 48 tooth blade or something like that, the bigger one, right? 9300, nice, dude. That's awesome. I have social blades, so it's fun to look too, right? I think that's pretty fun. Let's see if I can open a page. Oh, come on, man. Skillshare. I've been doing Skillshare, and I've been taking Illustrator courses, and yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, that's Patty's. Um, it's been fun actually. Taking the Skillshare courses and brushing up on the. Good morning, Eddie. Good day, dude. Yeah, I'm just pulling up. So we go to Social Blade. Look at that. Isn't that's really cool. The subscribers, right? Yeah, so up 19%. That's really good, eh? It's always good. No, that doesn't look right. Is that yours or mine? Because that looks more like. Yeah, I love the channel art, man. I really like that logo. It's beautiful. So yeah. Oh, it's beautiful, right? Like the neat. Ooh, working on Streamlabs this morning. Good. Yeah, I love Streamlabs. That's my I love it actually. Yeah. It's so it's a lot of fun, right? You can integrate a lot of other apps with it, and it's like it works really well with Discord, and like this of course the Stream Deck everything, right? So it's awesome, man. Good show, yeah. I know. Do you watch Nick Nimmin, right? I know he was the one who I watched to learn Streamlabs. I learned it from him basically. But look at the look at how beautiful this is. I actually I was driving by a building being built here in Edmonton, and I saw it being done, and I was like, wow, that is amazing, and that's where I got the idea from. But yeah, it's pretty neat stuff. It's built in. You can build it in panels, right? And you crane them in and stuff like that. You can build like you could build like major skyscrapers with this stuff, right? It's pretty neat. The columns that they build, columns and panels, the whole building is structural. It's amazing stuff, right? Um, yeah. So look at that. Pfeiffer offers. So this is a manufacturer. 6 to 30 centimeters and 3 to 7 laminated plies. So 3 to 7 layers. That's for 14 and a half meters long, right? Up to 3.5 meters wide, or 3.1 meters wide, by 14.5 meters long. That is, I could do my math here on the calculator. I'll tell you what it is in feet. But those are pretty big, right? So yeah, that's 9.8 feet by, so almost 10 feet wide. Yeah, by 47 and a half feet high. So those are big panels, right? So 6 to 30 centimeters, I don't know, would that be like, I want to say that's where it gets me. If it was in millimeters, I'd understand it, but it's in centimeters for some stupid reason. Anyways, that's big, right? You get the idea. Look at that, like it's amazing, right? So sturdy, safe, comfortable buildings are created through high degree of prefabrication. So short construction times and easy assembly. Maximum planning reliability due to defined or standardized mechanical and structural properties, and look at that, constant and internal external QC QA QC, right? So it's pretty neat, right? So they meet all the criteria of solid construction, soundproofing, heat insulation, of course. There's actually there's some testing that they do, which is really neat. I'm going to show you guys as well in one of these videos, but it's pretty wild. Pretty wild. I'm trying to remember. It's like some kind of air lock, right? It's like what it will provide is amazing. It's like quite a bit higher than normal construction, right? So environmentally friendly. I like the biophilic aspects of it, of having wood buildings, right? Like, it just biophilic means like construction or structures that bring us closer to nature, and that's supposed to be more healthy for us, right? And helps with our anxieties and just stuff like that. It's pretty neat, the effects that natural products have on us, right? Oh yeah, which bot are you trying to get working there, Christian? I could probably give you a hand if you needed that. So yeah, see, these are craned in, and you can see the joints, right? This is pretty cool. It could look quite seamless too, right? But here is a video. I think you know what? I don't know. Yeah, exactly. What bot? You bet. Oh, that's nice too, Cricket. The BIM one. I don't.
Cross-laminated timber, or CLT, is an engineered timber product that is threatening to upset the dominance of the big two structural materials, concrete and steel. Initially driven by the material's sustainable credentials, cross-laminated timber buildings are gaining traction, as they can be quicker, cheaper, cleaner, and quieter to build than traditional structures. Over the past 5 years, the use of CLT in construction has risen dramatically. The material is now being used to construct impressive and sustainable homes, offices, schools, and towers.
An IFTTT. Okay.
Often referred to as super plywood, the material is constructed in a controlled factory environment from sustainably sourced timber. CLT is manufactured from spruce, although Scots pine, larch, and Douglas fir can also be used.
Oh, right.
Once at the factory, the timber is planed and then kiln dried to reduce moisture content. The conditioned timber is then stacked into layers, known as lamellas, on top of one another.
Yeah.
Each layer is placed at a 90-degree angle to the one
beneath.
beneath.
Pretty wild stuff.
These layers are then glued using a non-toxic adhesive and hydraulically pressed together to create the high-strength structural panels.
Nice.
Individual panels can in theory be any size. However, their width is limited by the size of the manufacturing machinery, which is usually around 11 feet or 3.5 meters wide. The length of the panel is only dictated by how it will be transported to site. While 45 feet or 13.5 meter lengths are typical for practical purposes, panels of up to 75 feet or 22 meters have been produced.
Wow.
Using state-of-the-art, computer numerically controlled or CNC joinery machines, almost any shape of panel can be produced, meaning that door and window openings can be pre-cut in the factory. These off-site manufactured panels are then ready to be delivered to site. Fabrication is currently limited to only a handful of factories in mainly alpine countries, such as Stora Enso's in Austria. While this may require the panels to be transported to site by road, the embodied energy added to the project is far outweighed by the carbon savings. Proponents of CLT claim that producing timber building components consumes only 50% of the energy required to produce concrete, and a mere 1% of that needed to produce steel. The prefabricated panels can be delivered to site as they are needed, making this construction method ideal for schemes with limited on-site storage capacity. They are then lifted into place using pre-installed lifting straps and rapidly assembled, greatly reducing construction time and therefore cost. As the timber used is kiln dried, CLT should not shrink or warp when on site. However, like most timber elements, CLT must be placed above the damp-proof level and will need protection when used on the external facade. CLT construction can also reduce the self-weight of a structure compared to concrete, potentially reducing groundwork costs. The construction process is also cleaner than traditional methods, with greatly reduced levels of dust. It is also quieter, a distinct advantage for projects built in urban areas. While there are numerous benefits to CLT, some people are fearful of living or working in timber buildings. Some believe these structures have an inherent fire risk, particularly when rising to 10, 20 or 30 stories tall. Unlike unprotected steel, CLT can remain structurally stable when subjected to high temperatures. When exposed to fire, the outer layer timber chars and forms a layer around the structural core, which can retain its load bearing capacity. CLT's inherent fire resistance allows it to comply with fire resistance classes, withstanding blazes for between 30 and 120 minutes, depending on its engineering and formation.
Amazing.
CLT uptake and use was initially driven by the material's sustainable credentials. However, in recent times, a resurgent construction market that is placing pressure on traditional materials, along with increased awareness, has bolstered adoption. While early CLT buildings were predominantly small, low-rise structures, the material is increasingly being considered for taller schemes. Since architect Ward Thistleton built the first timber skyscraper, or plyscraper, in 2009, tall timber buildings.
Yeah, they don't really, he doesn't really go into, there's no graphic here that shows the structural configuration for this stuff, but it's pretty neat, right? Like, so you get it, when the steel and concrete buildings catch fire, the steel warps, right? And things collapse, and the wood, it forms the charred layer outside, right, which acts as a barrier to the fire. You know what I mean? So that it maintains its structural integrity, right? It's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. Ever since they started doing it this way, it's been amazing for fire insulation, right? That's what makes me afraid to these concrete and steel buildings. They're not as safe and as strong as these timber buildings, right? Like, it's pretty incredible. It's pretty incredible. And I like, because before, when we used to build with everything out of wood, so what happens is the outside layer, it chars, right? So that char, there's no air inside of it, right? So it's kiln dried, and the moisture and air is taken out of it, and it's pressed, right? So the charred layer on the outside it acts as a barrier, right, from the other fire. So it's pretty neat. So it'll take a lot longer to burn than the steel would melt, right? Before steel would melt, right, and the buildings would collapse. So it's pretty neat, right? You'll see there's more demonstrations of the wood being burnt, and you'll see it gets pretty crazy. I got more videos and stuff to show you guys. It's insane. They even blow it up, like they test it with blasting it and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool, man. This is pretty neat. There was something right here, right? So the compound, this is CAGR, which is a compound annual growth rate of 9.1%. We'll look at this. We'll reach US $980 million by 2024 from $640 million in 2019. So that's a lot of dough. That's a big industry, right? So it's saying that things like adhesives, if you're going to be investing into this market, look into the adhesives, because that is going to be more popular than the mechanically fastened one. But so the adhesives, and there's only a few companies that are actually able to do this, I think, because there's like an ISO standard or something like that, right? That there's only a few companies that meet it. So North American, good morning, Modern Day Tech. Good day, man. Nice to see you. Happy Sunday fun day, dude. Nice, man. Nice. But yeah, so it's pretty cool. It's showing that we're going to be going back to the building with wood, I think, for a while. And then it's neat because you got to think, right? Like, steel and concrete, that's the steel made mainly, right, is a limited resource. There's only so much of it, right? So um, the fact that um, wood is renewable is a huge benefit, right? So I can kind of see, maybe, how like people who grow things, like they get into, like farmers, for example, right? They use chemicals and things like that to grow things faster and bigger. So I can probably see that happening now in the tree industry. You know what I mean? So making them grow quicker and faster with chemicals and different stuff, right? Um, Growth hormones or whatever they do, right? So I won't be surprised. But yeah, no, man, we're doing really good. It's nice to have the weekend off, man. I'm so happy that um, that I had a dentist appointment yesterday, so it forced me to take the day off. Otherwise, I would have worked yesterday, and I'm glad I didn't. The dentist appointment, it really hurts, man. Like it hurt, but I guess I had a couple of really bad deep cavities in the back, so I'm awful. Like I just been in and out of the dentist for my whole life, and um I just, yeah, I know what it feels like to go, so I just don't. I ignore it now. My wife's making me go, so but it's good though. It's looking really good. The work they're doing is amazing, so yeah, they're gonna actually fix me right up. But yeah, man. No, things are good. Mr. Warner's good. He's already a month old. He's growing up. Like, he's growing. Like, his feet are hanging out, and yeah, he's smiling, and crying with tears now, and it's pretty cool. So yeah, and it's saying North America will benefit from this building, right? Um, there's this is yeah, 5 myths about cross laminated timber, right? Carlos, hey, what's up, hoser? Nice, man. Yeah, we're just exploring this new building style, cross laminated timber. Uh, so yeah, look at this. So it was originally developed in Europe as an alternative to stone masonry and concrete construction. So um, essentially, mass timber plates made from smaller framing lumber laminated crosswise on their wide faces, of course. North American CLT is typically laid up as 3 to 5, 7, and 9 layer panels of 2 by 6 lumber, finger jointed lamb stock. Yeah, so uh, wow, I might see the first mass timber plates and wonder, why on earth would I need that big a piece of wood to build with? Yeah, so myth one, CLT is not in the building code, right? So CLT panels have great potential for providing cost-effective building solutions for residential, commercial, and institutional buildings, as well as large facilities, in accordance with the International Building Code. In 2015, CLT will be incorporated in the International Building Code. The IBC recently adopted ANSI CLT standard PRG 320, blah, blah, blah. So it is in the code, right? You can request a design review based on it now, and submit. It is an alternative. Okay, so you can submit now. This is an alternative, right? In your when you're bidding jobs, so that's good. It's a funny thing. I don't know if you guys know about tuck tape, right? There's red and there's blue. The red stuff that we always use on everything was never tested, and it wasn't in the code, but the blue stuff was. So now they recalled it, and they're not selling the red anymore, only the blue. Isn't that crazy? I don't know if you guys ever heard of that or used the tuck tape, but it's used for taping poly and stuff together, right? So good morning, Michael Daniels. Buenos dias a todos. Good day, man. Happy Sunday. Yeah, I'm switching it up today. This is a chai latte, and not coffee, right? I'm trying something new. Actually, if I go to lattes, I gotta bust out the latte cup. But yeah, this is my not my first chai latte, but this is, like, just trying something different, man. Coffee is good, but I shouldn't drink so much, right? It's a wood product, and therefore it easily catches on fire. So, like using a few 12-inch diameter logs to start a campfire, mass timber does not catch fire easily. In fact, CLT acts more like concrete. Mass timber is not conventional, so it is very hard to light. And once it is lit, it wants to put itself out. So that's neat. 3. You have to bring it in specialized crew to install it? No, you don't. That's not true. Mass timber is not good for the environment since many trees need to be cut down to create the building material. I like how it eats the carbon dioxide. You know what I mean? That it actually cleans the air still. You know what I mean? Even in its CLT form, it's absorbing emissions and stuff like that. It's really cool, right? That's another benefit of biophilic design, right? So yeah, CLT manufactured 2x6 lumber from tree harvested from sustainably managed forests and mostly mountain pine beetle kill trees. If we don't use them, they decay and emit carbon back into the atmosphere. So that's neat. Wood is also the only primary structural material that grows naturally and is renewable. In fact, according to Sustainable Forestry in North America, during the last 50 years, less than 2% of the standing tree inventory in the US was harvested each year, while net tree growth was 3%. So they're saying their trees are growing faster than they're cutting them down, which hopefully is true, right? Muy bien. It too. That's so funny. CLT is expensive. So I guess what they're saying is 50% cheaper than installing other plate materials. Probably because it's prefabricated and you know what I mean. The neat thing is you don't have to store it on site, right? You can ship what you need when you need it to site, and it's you know what I mean. You don't need to have a massive laydown area, right? And hoisting equipment even on site all the times. I mean, a tower crane is always good, but sometimes like you could probably install this stuff with boom trucks as well. And if you got small enough panels, you could probably stand them up. You know, like obviously there'd be wood panels, right? Like for interior partitions and stuff like that, which would kind of like lay down in a stack and be numbered, and you just guys could pick them up and put them into place, right? But I like it. I think it's pretty neat. It looks beautiful. I actually seen it with my own eyes. Like I said, just driving by it. It's absolutely beautiful. Like you know, they stained it. All this stuff was nicely stained, or you know, not like stained, but varnished and all that. Right? It was beautiful looking stuff. But yeah, you can kind of see what they're. Oh, Neil, good morning. Good morning, buddy. How's it going? Very cool, buddy. Nice to see you. I can't wait to see it on the internet. All right, and saying nothing. That's too funny. How are you, Neil? How's it going, buddy? Yeah, this is just like the I'm just trying to picture this in my head, right? So like when we're building this on site, it's one piece at a time. Like when we're doing walls, you know what I mean? We're laying down oh, it's 4 p.m. Oh, it's 4 p.m. and you just got up. Oh, I didn't go to bed till 9 a.m. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, nighttime. I remember oh God, back in school in college and stuff like that, staying up all night long, because the bandwidth at night was better. You know what I mean? That was back in dial-up internet days when it like internet almost just started forming, right? Yeah, I would stay up all night long just to get that wider that bigger bandwidth, right? So yeah, but when we were building it, oh, the small horns had you up till 9 a.m. Oh, yeah, you guys working on a project probably. Oh man. Oh man, I couldn't do that anymore. Yeah, no, the kids definitely wouldn't let that happen. So yeah, so if you think about it, right? Oh, you don't finish work till 4 a.m. Ah, I gotcha, I gotcha. I got you. Night job, nighttime. So yeah, good morning. um, yeah. So when we're building this stuff on a site, on a commercial building, or even a any kind of like condo building or whatever case, you got to lay concrete. Let's just say that grade beams and piles are already done, because you know what I mean. This stuff would have to sit on the grade beams and pile caps still anyway. So let's imagine. Let's go from grade up. You have to go columns, cross braces, and concrete, right? Q deck, concrete, um, and then you got your irons, your columns, and cross braces, and then you got to go steel stud in between the concrete, the Q deck, and the columns and X braces and stuff like that. So you got to frame it all, insulate it all, um, and then you're boarding it on the outside, membraning. You could just skip all that and go right to the membrane, I guess. And then the neat thing too is you don't need to have certain tracks laid out. You don't have to spend the time laying out your studs and for backing, for cladding and things like that, right? It's already there. There's continuous backing everywhere you go. It's like constantly being like putting things on plywood, right? Which is really freaking cool. Those small horns, I'm telling you, hey, that's too funny. Aw. That's funny. They're awesome, yeah. Yeah, you guys are pretty cool. Oh man. I yeah, this just takes like all that away. Like they're just, see how they're picking up the whole thing, like the whole panel, and like layer by layer, and gluing it and stuff like that. They're sanding this stuff, so the thing is, I think it's like a factory, right? They can do a lot in a shorter amount of time. So, um, and it's one company. So in traditional construction, there's you have iron workers, you have concrete guys, masonry guys, and then you have like ISM guys like myself that do the steel, and yeah, right. And even inside of the ISM trade, you got steel stud framers, and then you got drywallers, and you got guys that do insulation and poly and all this stuff, right? So there's all these different guys and different crews coordinating a bunch of stuff, and this just takes that all away. It's just one company, one lift, one set type thing. It's pretty cool. It takes a lot of stuff out, right? So of the equation. These are some of the mechanical fasteners that so hidden connector kit. So yeah, you got a hidden fastener kit, joist ties, timber screws. So strong drive SDWS timber screw, and you got there's the heavy duty connector screw, medium duty, medium diaphragm. So, oh yeah, truss screws. Good morning, Christina. Speak of the devil, yeah. Yeah, yeah, spacers. And you know what? I love every time I can get, like when the guys drop spacers or leave them, I take those spacers and I use them for when I'm installing the doors, the steel press door frames. Worked really well for that, right? So when I'm shimming up door frames, I use that. So yeah, wow. Good morning, Christina. How are you? How are the kids? How's everybody? Look at how beautiful, right? That's gorgeous. So long time ago, they built factories like this with the stand-up 2x6 flooring. Um, Sometimes, yeah, with wood beams, and sometimes with iron. But look at how we're going back to that design. Everything went to steel and concrete for the longest time. it's not, those are like cold, dark products, you know. The wood is just so much warmer and yeah, right? You get what I'm saying. It's amazing, right? But look how beautiful. Like that's gorgeous, right? So there's a conference in Oregon, Portland, Oregon, March 19th to 21st. If anyone's interested, let me know. I'll link it. And as usual, any links that you guys want out of this, I'll link. I linked all the YouTube videos I'm using, but I wish we had. Well, you know what? It looks like the sun's coming out, which is nice. But yeah, the snow part is I'm over it. That's for sure. Gosh, man, we keep getting snow more and more. Right on. Yeah, here's the wiki. So yeah, look at that. It was first developed and used in Germany and Austria in the early 1990s, but it was only after the mid 1990s more extensive research was completed by the 2000 CLT saw much more wider usage in Europe, being used in various building systems such as single family and multi-story housing, as old growth timber became more difficult to source. CLT and other engineered products appeared on the market. So split up into 9 steps. So yeah, that's a pretty yeah, design flexibility, eco-friendly, prefabrication, thermal insulation. So I'm in Edmonton, Alberta, which is it's like the most northern major city in the country, right? There's other cities more north, but like we're like the last kind of big city, right? It's far up north. Let's just say that it's cold here, man. We get a lot of snow. Winters are long. It's I can't. I just yeah. Ugh. I can't. I hate it. I hate the snow. I don't like snow at all. I don't like cold. I'm done with it. But yeah, it's I'm originally from the South Ontario. I'm in I have to post a picture of the snow. I can do that after. Oh no, no, you're talking to Neil. Okay, good. Who wants to see snow? Oh yeah. Oh, curling is huge. It is huge here. Yeah, yeah. Where are you from? Where are you again? I don't know if I ever. I don't know. It's hard to remember, but uh, where are you located? I used to love the snow. I used to, but now that it's just like I don't know, man. Like I don't get to snowboard anymore. Like it would be nice if could ski or snowboard, I guess, but I don't get to really do that anymore. Um, ice skating, you can do any time of the year in the rink, right? But yeah, it's cold, man. Like I worked outside for a lot of years in the winter in the snow now, and oh yes, you guys get snow. You guys get snow. Yeah. Um, it yeah. I don't know, man. I would like to move somewhere where there's never a snow ever. Oh, this is what I was trying to say. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, it's busy, man. Like work and family and stuff, and then if you're trying to run a channel, and it's a busy life, you know. It's definitely busy. Um, okay, this guy. Let's see here if I can get a. This house is pretty amazing. No, yeah, you probably wouldn't. Yeah, Tokyo. Hi, good morning, Drew. Yeah, that would be sweet, dude. I would I would love to. I would consider Japan, absolutely, absolutely, man. Yeah, nice to see you, dude. the systems in this house, right? This is like a 14 long minute, so I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but the the penetrations are limited and like really well done here. Um, this here is an induction top, obviously, but this is the hood fan. Well, not the hood fan. This eliminates a hood fan. A hood fans that are traditionally vented outside the house. This here just sucks the air and puts it through a carbon filter and blows the air out the back of the island. So there's nothing vented outside, right? So that this passive house, like it is truly amazing. This guy has tested everything. Like, look at some of the contraptions that this guy has. Amazing. There we go. So air, where's the one I wanted to show you? So yeah, so passive house certification requires 0.6. I guess it's 0.69. It's amazing. So it's airtight. So the heat and energy loss, right? Like it's minimal, right? It's very minimal. But yeah, this stuff is kind of neat. I wish I saw the diagram. Where are ya? There we go. Solar orientation, high insulation, airtight enclosure, and balanced ventilation with heat recovery. Yeah. Oh man, yeah. Some of the contraptions that these guys have are pretty impressive. I'll link it too, so you guys can copy it or watch it after if you want, Christian. Here's the link to that video. Cause yeah, it's long, but it's pretty neat. The thermal barrier is impressive with this stuff, right? So here we go.
This building here with a lot of exposed surfaces will help not only
they're gonna light this on fire.
will also help Europe to find good solutions for the future for safe multi-story timber buildings, fire-safe multi-story timber buildings.
Pretty sure I already got I'm pretty sure I got copyright on this already, this video, but that's okay. As long as we don't monetize their videos or try to monetize them, I think that we're good. Like, that's all that they've been saying to me, but... So they got the fires lit.
But only 6 of them had open wooden surfaces exposed to fire.
Alright, damn.
Roughly 40 tests similar to this have been conducted worldwide.
Yeah,
but only
you're
6
welcome,
of them
Christian.
had open wooden surfaces exposed to fire.
Konkreetne katse on eriline selle poolest, et me eksponeerime sisetingimustes tulekahju ajal puitu, ehk siis me ei kata kinni puitkonstruktsioone. Ja see teeb selle katse eriliseks, eriti just sellepärast, et neid avatud pindasid on võrreldes varasemate katsetega oluliselt suuremas mahus. Ja me ei räägi siin väikestest eramajadest, selle katse eesmärk on leida lahendusi suurte kuni 8-korruseliste hoonete projekteerimiseks ja ehitamiseks.
Might as well just read the subtitles. Anyways. Oh, look at that's interesting. So Roxol added Roxol is a fire sound bat. And adding Roxol to it. Wow. That's cool. Come on, I want to see the fire. Yeah, we kind of get all that. It's probably going to be right at the end. There we go. Let's see. Avoid delamination. Yeah, see, that would be the thing. Delamination, right? That's something you wouldn't want to happen. And what point would that happen? That's a big fire, man. So yeah, must not forget. So it's for steel or concrete or wood. They can predict the fire rating, right? So they can apply a fire rating to all those materials, is what he's saying. But wood is a combustible material. The question is in the details, yeah. Yeah, that's right. And like I would like to see the actual comparison between wood, steel, and concrete, right? Like this construction versus the steel and concrete. Almost I'd like to see the split screen. You know what I mean? That comparison. And yeah, so whatever material would outlast the other is obviously the safest one, because I don't know if I was overly impressed with that video. It didn't really give us a lot of information. This is the largest building being built right now, mass timber, and they're also proposing this for the Quayside, the Sidewalk Labs Quayside project. They're proposing this material for that build as well. That's going to be an amazing build. Like, it's a big project, right? So it's going to be interesting. Hopefully they get going on that. But I've been following it on the Twitter feeds, and there's so much crap that's going on with it that who knows. The liberals are really screwing things up. So University of Arkansas. Oh, it's a residence hall. So for the University of Arkansas, that's cool. That's really neat. Those are big residences. That'll be beautiful residences. My goodness. Yeah, so look at this, fire safety. I wonder if it says...
Biggest issues from a fire safety point of view is simply a lack of knowledge and familiarity with the product.
Yeah, that's not going to work. Oh, look at so it's that's the thing, right? We need to. They're saying it is better than steel and concrete. I'd really like to see that split screen, you know, but that looked pretty good. That fire it was pretty big. That, you know, and the structure hadn't collapsed. I'd be interested to see what degree it is, because, you know, the steel, like I'm saying, it melts, man. It melts and it warps. That's that dangerous thing, right? And yeah, it could be ugly. These guys are the actual first U.S. certified manufacturer for cross-laminated timber. Dr. Johnson's engineered CLT. I love it. Dr. Johnson's engineered CLT. That's so cool. Oregon. That's too funny. This is it. This is the Quayside project. So if you guys seen the Sidewalk Labs video, you would have seen this graphic in that for sure. But this is amazing. Like they're proposing cross-laminated timber for this whole project, right? And if this project goes well, there's a whole 800 more acres of area that they're going to build on. This is going to be really cool. It's small, but I like to see it grow. I'd like to see it bigger. Yeah. Timber becomes more cost competitive, right? So the push comes as timber becomes more cost competitive as steel prices rise, and the use of prefabricated wood panels allows for quicker construction with less labor. And yeah, that's pretty neat. Yeah, here's a blast test, right? This is only 2 minutes long.
Engineering News Record.
Progressively larger TNT blast loads. So yeah, there's not going to be any talking. It's just music. But look at. £30, distance of 75 feet. 67 pounds. £198. Wow. Hmm. $610. Holy. They're going big. Wow. Whoa. Jesus, that's insane. That's insane. And again, I would really like to see the side by side of like a concreted steel structure being blown up that with the same distance, right? That would be the cool video to see, man. Oh, you know what? That really makes me mad. You know that the New York Times, you can't even look on their paper online anymore without buying a subscription. Like, it's crazy, right? No, thank you. And yeah, this is the ISO page. So anyone wanting that, let me know. I can gladly send that over, or link it in the comments, or link it on the chat. But what's this one? Oh yeah, look at this timber cabin in the Arctic. That's neat. Look at, oh wow, wow, that's beautiful. That's the way to go, eh? So it's put together by volunteers over 1,500 hours. After finding and mapping out a suitable site in 3D using a drone and photogrammetry software. Ooh, what with that photogrammetry software. Neat. I like the sounds of new tech. Photo. Neat. When can it? Yeah, that's neat. Yeah, so okay. So it exists for hikers trekking through the cold town of Hammerfest in Norway. That's neat. I like it. That'd be nice to chill, you know, hang out for a night. That's beautiful. If it's set up for that, even, I don't know, but which one's this one? Oh, time lapse. So, oh, this is good. This will show us, I think, hopefully some of the structural things about it, right? There's showing you details there, right? There we go. So floor slabs and joists or columns, right? Those are your beams. Oh wow. Oh, I see what they're doing there. and the walls. Like it's pretty neat. There, yeah, you got your cladding. You could add exterior. You could added rock salt and stuff like that too, just like the other video showed. It would look. There's your glazing panels, Dan. I like it. It'd be so cool. You could definitely rock wool. Yep, plywood, acoustic mat, engineered floor. Neat. Very neat. It's neat, yeah. It would save so much time in so many ways. It's kind of freaky. Look, there's the spider crane. The spider crane. Those that would be perfect for something like this, yeah. But it just looks beautiful. Like it looks nice. I mean, I would like a mixture of the wood and steel myself. I like steel. And I kind of like a bit of concrete too, but wood is beautiful. That's a small lift, so scissor. Clips on the floor, right? Just clips. There's an other way that it's like kind of like a bonus video at the end that they use dowels, which is kind of different, right? Oh, and do you see that? It goes right up. It doesn't go in between the floor and the joist. It goes straight up, like across the front of it. Which, yeah, you could do that, which is neat. That with steel, that's a little more difficult, right? We go between the concrete and the steel, and then they build on the exterior that goes up, right? So I like that. That's pretty cool. That's probably just building paper. I wonder if you could membrane it, right? Like actually apply like a petroleum-based membrane to it. And see that? They were able to lay the tracks for the cladding. No issues. They didn't have to they could run that. They could have run them either direction, horizontally or vertically. Those clips, right? Which is nice. Yeah, that's really nice for the configurations of your insulation if you're adding it and stuff like that as well. Yeah, that's super cool. The curtain wall, yeah. There's the glazing wall. That's what Dan the Man used to do. That's really neat. Oh man. It's the floor, the floor. It floors me. This is wild. I wonder what they're trying to do here. Are they gonna finish the whole thing? Because I don't like when they work out of sequence. So they're still going on the inside and covering it with something. Oh, it's drywalling it. They're drywalling it. If that was drywalled, it would be fairly, really fire resistant. Okay, so the thing is would you really want to drywall it or like leave it exposed? Right, it's beautiful stuff. But you could drywall it to paint it and stuff like that. But it would be really fireproof if you use say 5/8 Type X. Now you got a fireproof structure, right? Which is beautiful. That's CO2, right? How it emits out of those steel and concrete buildings. Let's see if there's music in here.
And steel, like we look at petrol and diesel.
Oh yeah,
I think it's very
at concrete and steel, like we look at petrol and diesel.
Yeah, so he's saying we
I
need
think
to look
it's very
at...
realistic to think that someone will build a wooden skyscraper in the coming years. There's a lot of potential that's unrealized for using timber at a very large scale.
Throughout history, buildings have been made of wood, but it has one major drawback.
Yeah.
It acts as kindling. Fire has destroyed large swathes of some of the world's great cities. But by the early 20th century, the era of modern steelmaking had arrived. Steel was strong, could be molded into any shape, and used to reinforce concrete. It allowed architects to build higher than ever before. So why, after more than a century of concrete and steel, are some architects proposing a return to wood?
That's a lot of
If
concrete and steel.
were to arrive as a new
Looking
material
at that, look
on
at that.
Dragon's Den, if you were to pitch it and say, I've got this brand new material, it's liquid, and you can pour it into any shape and it'll solidify. That sounds great. But then when you say, but we need a whole new fleet of trucks to move it around, and actually when it solidifies, it's not strong enough. We have to stick this other stuff in it called steel.
Yeah,
I don't think it
rebar.
would be a compelling case.
Concrete and steel are costly to produce and heavy to transport. Wood, however, can be grown sustainably, and it's lighter than concrete.
Right.
And crucially, as trees grow, they absorb carbon dioxide from the air, locking it into the timber. One study showed that using wood to construct a
amazing.
125-meter skyscraper could reduce the building's carbon footprint by up to 75%.
Up to 75% reduced carbon footprint. That's amazing. They're saying they're only taking wood away from sustainable forests. I hope those certain trees that I was talking about are protected. You know, like those 1,000-year-old trees, thousands and big, huge, massive trees, right? I hope they protect those and don't. You know, I hate seeing them cut down. We've really done a number on some of the ecosystems from around the world by cutting down trees, right? The rainforest deforestations that were such a big deal when I was a kid. You never hear about them anymore, but I guarantee you it's probably still going on. It's crazy, right? Like, you gotta respect the ecosystems, right, that you're taking this stuff out of, because as a tree is supporting living things, living organisms. We have to respect those organisms, right? Like, and animals, and there's animals, there's bugs, it's an ecosystem, right? So I think we got to respect that. Now, steel and concrete, I don't think there's much going on inside of the earth that would not much, but I think drilling and mining is awful, like, right? Like, it destroys things. And yeah. Sorry guys, 1 second here. Yeah, so I think as long as it's the stuff is controlled and
regular timber isn't malleable like steel or concrete, and it isn't strong enough. Are we setting this up for further failure? Engineers have come up with a solution. It's called cross-laminated timber, or CLT for short.
It's basically a new material, even though...
Like, are we setting ourselves up for further failure, right? Good morning, David. No worries. Good to see you. Happy Sunday, fun day, man. Nice to see you. No worries. Just talking about cross-laminated timber and the pros and cons, where's it come from, all this. And I was just thinking, like, they're taking the wood from sustainable forests, but as we're planting seeds and growing new forests, we're also creating new ecosystems of creatures, of animals and insects and all this stuff, and then we're taking it down again. You know what I mean? And growing it, taking it down. How would that affect the things? Like, how is this going to affect the overall world, like, ecosystem, right? Like, how is that? Yeah, I don't know. That makes me think. The
underlying material is
just
something
repeating it type
millennia.
thing, right?
It's cross-laminated, so the layers of wood are glued at 90 degrees to each other, and that makes for a very, very stable,
super
material.
Strong, super massive.
CLT is light, and it's comparable in strength to concrete and steel. But how does it cope when burned with a high heat source.
I like this test on
Charred
the fire
wood
one.
is
It's neat.
extremely insulating. That's the tree's natural protection against a forest fire. It chars, it loses some of its structural mass, but when you remove the source of flame, it extinguishes itself. When steel gets hot, it gets a bit softer. We've actually seen some steel roofs collapse in fires where wooden roofs have not.
It's pretty
London
crazy.
architects War Thistleton are already designing buildings with this new kind of.
Yeah, they got lots of stuff going on in Europe, but yeah, it's not as a total replacement for steel. I would agree. It's neat, and you're right, man. They have the way they're building it now, right? The columns and things like that are pretty strong, and I'm sure it'd work. But yeah, there's still like doing it this way eliminates a lot of people's trades. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of trades, like a lot of jobs that go into building these big buildings normally, right? And now you're taking away a lot of skilled trades, high paying jobs, and replacing them with low paying jobs, and yeah, it's kind of screwy, right? Yeah, I think we need to be careful of that as well, right? I don't know. Right? That's one of the scary things, right? Oh yeah, look, I still got. Yeah, that's funny. Michael Daniels is the last subscriber when on live stream, which is nice. Oh, boiled nuts. Yeah, he donated back to back $25, so he's at the top donation at $50. That's awesome. Aloha. Yeah, I always forget to read out the top here. We're at 744 subs. That's cool. I don't know, man. That's pretty wild. Like the skyscraper. This is a skyscraper they're proposing. I think it'd be neat to have, but not everything like that, right? It would get quite boring pretty fast, I think, if everything was like that. I like the mixture, but and also too, like I wonder how it works in like over time of being exposed to moisture, right? Like for example, like look at all the gardens and the greenery that they're proposing, and that draws moisture. You need the water to grow that stuff, right? So I wonder how it will react with the CLT, right, over time and stuff like that. There's a lot of questions I have about it because concrete and steel is not affected by moisture as much as wood is, right? So that would be interesting to see. What's this one? Oh, this is the dowel laminated lumber. This is gonna be, I think, the last video. Yep. Yeah, but you can see the dowels, right? Like how strong would that be, right? That'd be crazy strong. Yeah, man, that's crazy. So yeah, it's being thoroughly tested anyways, and we like I said, it's been being worked into the codes and stuff like that since 2015. So you've been able to use this as an alternative building material when you're building jobs. You can submit alts for this. So yeah, if you're interested in getting into something new and getting an edge on the market of building, you might want to consider looking into learning cross laminated timber, learning how to work with it. It's going to be popular, and I think it's worth learning. And if you're like wanting to invest into a company, make a new company, this might be something that could be successful, right? So it's valuable to look into anyways, right? But yeah, it's pretty amazing stuff, guys. Like there's a lot of changes coming. Like you gotta think like what the guy said. Look, there's the DeWalt's. That's a lot of holes, eh? Like look at this guy. He's just pounding them in. Like these are just these are silly engineers just testing it out, right? Like could you imagine seeing a guy at work sitting down like that, hammering? I don't know, man. That guy probably wouldn't last too long. Interesting though, eh? Interesting. Interesting. Oh yeah, check out Matt Rissinger's channel and see how they build in Switzerland. They use that technology and build things to last. Cool. I will. Matt Rissinger's. Sorry, I just missed that, silly man. I will check that out. I got that. Oh yeah. Yeah, I see. Cool, man. Yeah, I just subscribed to him. But yeah, guys, so that's the end of the stream for today. That was pretty good. Cross laminate timber. So like I'm saying, yeah, there's some concerns that I have, and you know, I think it's strong. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I believe it would be strong and more fireproof than steel and concrete. But the moisture things, there's a lot of concerns, right? Like taking away high-paying skilled jobs and replacing them with low-paying jobs. Like factory jobs are low-paying, and you know, it's not always you know, building things off-site. And I mean, I get it, right? When you have minimal space, you're but building in tight areas, and you don't have quite the laydown that you need or you'd want. It's you know, it could benefit you, right? So make sure you guys check out get over to Launchpad Astronomy's channel and get subscribed. And he's growing really quickly. He's an awesome dude. You guys know Christina, your real estate whisperer, and Vince over at VCG, and Paul Peck Drywall Tube, and To the Top of the Crane. Get over there, get subscribed, get in into it. You like construction? Paul Peck is awesome. He there's a lot of taping tutorials, guys, and yeah, it's super cool, man. And of course, every Thursday night, trivia night, your real estate whisperer, gotta be there. Make sure you guys are there at 7 p.m. Eastern, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you can always check it out, and on her channel, the link is right on my homepage. So nice to have you in the chat, Cricket. Nice to hear that you've been listening. You bet. It's things are changing in construction, and you know, we gotta kind of prepare for that, those big changes. And yeah, like thinking about steel and concrete is a scarce. There's only so much of it, right? So yeah, it would be concerning if you think about, you know, how much we've taken, right? How much is left, and what, you know, before we start damaging the earth to unrepairable, you know, or like mass failure type thing. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I heard that once we suck all the oil out, right? What happens when the plates can't vibrate and shift, right? Well, the earth is gonna, you know, more earthquakes. The earth could split in half, right? So, mining is dangerous. I think it's a dangerous practice, and extracting things out of the earth is irresponsible in my opinion. So, you know, this is a good alternative to that, and biophilic building is my favorite. I love it. So, but yeah, everybody who came in today, wow, it was a good full house today. My goodness. Thank you for coming. We had Daniel Rodriguez and Dan Soderholm, Launchpad Astronomy, Christian Reddy, Cricket, Wilson Harris, thank you so much. Ben the Man, yeah, good stuff. Make sure you let Lori know what we, you know, send her our thoughts and prayers and love and all that. Hope she's okay, you know, dealing with things okay. Eddie and Christina, the awesome Smallhorns, and her channel, your real estate whispers channel. And who else do we have here? Oh my goodness. Oh yes, Modern Day Tech in the house. Carlos, hey, Hoser, and Michael Daniels, Mr. Michael Daniels, thank you for coming. Very cool, and of course Neil, Crypto Cruising, you bet. That was nice to see everybody today. That was really fun. And like always, I'll see you next Sunday, same bat time, same bat place, and. I always fall in lava after mining diamonds. I love it. That's so cool. I like it. Yeah, diamonds are yeah, I have an eye for I like diamonds myself. But yeah, no. Yeah, Christine and I are pretty awesome. And you're all awesome people. And I'll see you next Sunday, same bad time, same bad place. And hopefully this Tuesday. I'm trying to go every Tuesday. So I think I've done 2 Tuesdays in a row. It's fun to hang out. We just listen to music and not get into trouble with copyright claims and stuff like that. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. All right, guys, this is Chris. Bye for now. Thanks for coming, Christian. Appreciate it. And David, yes, thanks. You're very welcome, guys. You're very welcome. Bye for now, guys.